We're back with Fay Wapenisk, a victim of sexual abuse in the past. We left your story, Fay. You're finding help. You're, finding direction for your life, helping your husband as well. And then a light bulb kind of goes on for you, and you look around your community. You're Métis by descent, and you look around your community, and you're like, if I can share my story, I could probably help a lot of other women. Tell us about that light bulb moment for you.
Yeah, I have lived in the community of Weagamal Lake, where we live. I've lived there for 19 years. And so I really have adopted that community as my own, as my home. And I knew I had a story to share. And as one after the other young women started taking their own lives, I started thinking, what if I had shared my story with them? What if I had shared the healing journey, the hope that there is healing, that they don't have to end their lives? Would it have made a difference? And so I started slowly to share my story. The first time I shared it was only with two women that were sitting there while we were talking, and then it was a few more women. And then I was wondering, well, it would be great if somebody would have a women's Bible study. And then, I clearly heard the voice of God saying, what about you? And so I stepped out in faith, and I began to have this women's Bible study. And when we first started, it only lasted a short time because I was so nervous. I just went through the material like so fast.
So fast.
And but as God has brought me into it, and into this place that He's having me share, is that I'm really enjoying ministering to the women, and we have some great Bible studies, and it's awesome to share what Jesus is doing and has done in our lives. Yeah.
You've also opened up your house. So let me get this right. Is it 49 kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've fostered 49 children, of which 3 of them have gone through or have been diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome. Now, you and Ivan have no biological children of your own. Why open up your house in that fashion?
We just felt like we had so much to give to children, and so much hope that we could share with them, and a place in our hearts. And I mean, it works. We're getting to love them, and they're getting that love. And I always have made this my my motto: love them when you're with them, pray for them when they're gone. I love them with an open hand, and so you're not clutching onto that child like, oh, I hope they don't go home. You're loving them with an open hand. And I make it a partnership with the parents, especially the mothers, grandmothers. I make it a partnership with them that, you do what you need to do, what the agency said you have to do, but your child will be loved here. And then when it's time, when you're ready, your child will go back to you. And so that's how I have, been doing the last several years, about 14, I think.
And do you ever look back, Faye, and think, wow, like how amazing God is that He would use both you and Ivan, 2 people who were victimized as children, to be able to show love to 49 kids, almost 50 children, and to show them that they are loved not just by you, but by God. How important is that?
That is so important. That is so important to tell them, to let them know that they are loved. That they are loved by God, and that even if I'm not there, God is. It's so important to let them know that whatever they're facing, God is right there with them, and He will never leave them or forsake them. And so that's what we try to instill, because. And also for me, knowing as a foster parent whose child, this child is now no longer with you, but God is. So so many times I'll say it's rain, you know, it'll be thundering, and I know a particular child is afraid of thunder, and I'll say, God, you know, can you just hug that child right now, wherever he or she is, you know, just be really close to them and just come near them, and it's just that assurance that, you know, I know God is where that child is, you know, and He's got his or her best interest in heart. No, God does, yeah. So that's the comfort that I get. Is how I can let them go, because people say to me, "Oh, I could never foster because I couldn't let them go." But when you know that God is going with you, then or with them, you know, then you can.
It makes all the difference. Thank you so much, Fay. I'm so happy that I got to meet you today. Thank you.
All right, thank you.